Greetings and welcome to On the Table. We're broadcasting on RTM Click and MyTV's Berita RTM channel 123, which is also live streaming on YouTube. I'm your host, Otto Othman. With Malaysia set to assume the ASEAN Chairmanship in 2025, local entrepreneurs have a golden opportunity to leverage this platform for growth, networking and collaboration. And on tonight's episode, joining us in the studio, taking off his busy schedule, is of course our very own Tan Sri Abdul Sani. Thank you very much for coming to the studio.
Thank you very much, Otto, for having me on this program tonight.
And you are as the chairman of Perkembangan Usahawan Nasional Berhad PUNB. And it seems that it's just like yesterday you've been appointed, but so far in all these years, Tan Sri, I'd just like to say your growth from IGP towards this has been a very monumental situation in your case. I'd just like to ask this off record, do you miss the service?
Well, definitely after 37 years in the service, definitely there will be always, moments that I have remind me with my times in the service. But of course, over time, now almost more than a year, I believe I already have come to terms. And of course, from time to time, I do miss some of the, the camaraderie of the with the police force.
Now we have like less than 45 days left before a new year, and which I believe has made a lot of people anxious with regards to entrepreneurs as well. However, with the announcement of the 800 million ringgit in the 2025 Malaysian budget, Tan Sri, directed to the Majlis Amanah Rakyat or MARA, and also to Perkembangan Usahawan Nasional Berhad PUNB, it provides an opportunity as well, but also prompted lots of questions, which comes to today's little question also, Tan Sri. Today we're looking into the type of support PUNB provides, the networks and programs and developments and all that. So with regards to support and mechanism, Tan Sri, how do you see this? Any specific initiatives, Tan Sri?
Okay, thank you very much, Otto, for the questions. Now, before I proceed further, let me just a brief introduction of what PUNB is actually the role and function of PUNB. So PUNB was set up in 1991 with the aim, sole, objective is to enhance the Bumiputra, development in entrepreneurship. So in doing so, we have three main objectives in doing so. So that the first is to ensure to enhance the number of quality and the quantity of Bumiputra entrepreneurships, and of course followed by the development of the Bumiputra resilient entrepreneur, and lastly to instill the entrepreneurial culture among Bumiputra entrepreneurs. So having these three objectives, the PUNB over the years, we have created a unique ecosystem within PUNB that is to ensure that we are providing a platform for Bumiputra entrepreneurs for them to access capital, financial assistance, and also providing educational and training programs, and to provide opportunities for the networking, access to much wider market, and not forgetting a global access, definitely. That is the main objectives of the PUNB since its inception in 1991. So when we come to financial assistance, over the years, PUNB has been providing financial facilities, and we have allocated about 200 million ringgit a year. And this figure not necessarily fixed at 200 million ringgit, and it sometimes fluctuates, but more often than not, it has always more than that. sometimes in the region of 220 millions. And in last year we had disbursed 300 million ringgits in terms of financial facilities to Bumiputra entrepreneurs.
Wow. Yeah. Would you consider that as a milestone for PUNB?
Oh yes, definitely. And we are looking forward for in the near future that we are going to increase the allocation for financial facilities to the Bumiputra entrepreneurs that are eligible to apply for that.
Now, being that as of May, Tan Sri, we want to know as well, PUNB provides business financing to, of course, develop and empower entrepreneurs, just like what you said. Are there any special funding programs or grants available?
Oh, yes. If you are talking about a specific, what do you call it, allocation for certain sectors, we have sectors, because if you are talking about PUNB, what do you call it, financial assistance to the entrepreneurs, we cover most of the industries, except for the agriculture and constructions. And as for the rest of it, what do you call it, business, what do you call it, enterprise, we provide all the facilities that are eligible for applicants that is applying for the facilities. With regard of what kind of business they are venturing into.
So you're saying there's a specific for ASEAN, for businesses particularly, entering into the ASEAN industry, since Malaysia is chairing the chairmanship of ASEAN?
If you are talking about business ventures outside Malaysia, so we have this one particular program or package that we call it a Prosper Global. This package is specifically, what do you call it, tailored for those entrepreneurs aiming to extend their market reach outside Malaysia, and especially the ASEAN countries as well as to the rest of the world. And this particular package, which we call it Prosper Global, is that we provide a 500,000 ringgit maximum matching grant.
I see.
And up to 50% of the, what do you call it, financial assistance that is being applied by the, what do you call it, applicants. I'll give you an example. Let's say now, if a person wish to move abroad to extend their market reach outside Malaysia, and they require 1 million ringgit of, what do you call it, allocations or funding, then we will match up to 500,000 ringgits. There is a grant for them. Or if let's say their requirement is only 500,000 ringgit, then we will provide maximum up to 50% of the project cost.
I see.
Okay.
So there is a plan, a development, a fund plan for that specific, definitely.
It has already been in place for a number of years.
I see. So we say it's something like the Singapore's Enterprise Development Grant. It's where this grant has helped local firms increase their ASEAN footprint by offering cost-sharing incentives. Would you say that it's an incentive as well for them?
Well, we can definitely call it as incentive, because we are also, as I mentioned earlier, this grant is actually a grant, you know. I mean, they don't have to repay back to the PUNB.
Now, when we're talking about networking, Tan Sri, moving on to the next question, can you provide the opportunity, this actually provide opportunity, build mutuality beneficial relationships? So will there be networking events on your part on trade missions organized by PUNB?
Yes. Part of the, what do you call it, core functions of PUNB, besides providing, what do you call it, financial assistance, we are also actively involved in training, educational program that will include, also part of it, networking, what do you call it, programs, where we took all these entrepreneurs for a working visit to certain countries where they can personally visit the place where the, what do you call it, to source out certain products that they might want to bring to Malaysia, or where they wanted to market their products to the particular countries. So we have a lot of trade visits, trade missions, when we bring this, what I call it, all the entrepreneurs. Those who are, potential entrepreneurs. They have been making a good, progress in their respective businesses. So when we talk about these, networking, initiatives, what we do is that the PNB will be, subsidizing part of the cost borne by the entrepreneurs.
Wow, I didn't know that existed in the PNB.
Yes,
Thank you very much for that. Tan Sri, with your distinguished career in law enforcement and also a wealth of leadership experience, including your chairmanship here, skills development, what training or capacity building programs does PNB plan to offer to help entrepreneurs prepare?
Well, over the years, we have, within the PNB, there are two main, association among the entrepreneurs. One is the Bumiputra Retail, BRO they call it. I can recall it.
Okay.
The BRO. So they are mainly in the retail business. They have got very strong associations. Every year, every now and then, they will be organizing talks, seminars among the the memberships. Besides these Bumiputra retail organizations, we also have another association specifically aiming to promoting the automotive sectors. They call it the Auto Pro. And yes, just like the other associations, this also Auto Pro, every now and then they will be organizing, having business talk, visits to various places where they feel there's a potential for the members to gain what I just mentioned earlier on, experience, new insights, new products, new areas where there are potential for them to move forward.
I love the fact you brought insights into this equation, Tan Sri. With regards to market research, right? How can PUNB actually assist entrepreneurs in conducting market research about ASEAN countries to identify potential opportunities in growth?
Well, although I believe when we are talking about market research within ASEAN countries or abroad, so we have this agency they call Matrade. Okay, so we are always working very closely with Matrade as part of our strategic partner in ensuring that whatever ventures by the entrepreneurs when they are venturing outside of Malaysia, they are fully equipped with the understanding of how business being done in that particular country, what are the things that they might want to be mindful before venturing into this particular market. And of course, when we work closely with Matrade, they will provide us with inputs that we will share with the entrepreneurs when they are, proposing or when they are planning to move abroad.
Are we looking at some collaborations, PNB, with other bodies as well from other nation countries, ASEAN countries? Are we looking at that as well?
So far, we are not into that area as yet. As you are well aware, we are a development financial institution. We are, in a scale not that very big. We are focusing on the small, medium enterprises, SME. So, well, it's a kind of interesting idea to collaborate with a similar agency, maybe within the ASEAN countries. There's something that we certainly would like to consider.
Another untapped potential.
Untapped potential, yes.
Okay, with that, we have lots more to discuss, but we will be right back with our guest for today and the topic for the day, so stick around.
2025 will be a momentous chapter for ASEAN, rich with significance and promise. Will mark the 10th anniversary of the ASEAN community founding, a milestone in our collective journey. Malaysia has chosen the theme inclusivity and sustainability. It reflects our aspirations for shared progress, ensuring that no one is left behind. It conveys our hope that the steps we take today will endure in the long run. It underscores our determination to keep the future firmly in sight as we move forward. On behalf of the government and people of Malaysia, I look forward to welcoming you all. Selamat datang ke Malaysia. Thank you.
Welcome back to On the Table, and today we have a special guest in the studio right now. We have PUNB Chairman from Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad, Tan Sri Abdul Sani. Of course, we're talking about entrepreneurship and the future of ASEAN economy. Thank you once again, Tan Sri, for coming to the studio.
Thank you, Otto.
Now, moving on to the next question that we have so far. Now, in connection with advisory services, these services are much needed to guide the company to find its footing and enhance effectiveness.
Yes.
Will PUNB provide advisory services to actually guide entrepreneurs on compliance, regulations, and market entry strategies and all that?
Definitely. That is one of the major points that we always, practice when we are providing financial assistance to entrepreneurs. Once we provide assistance to them, we will not just going to let them be. We will assign officers, special officers, to monitor these particular entrepreneurs, and over time, when there is a need for us to give some insight or some inputs, guidance in terms of doing business, we will definitely always ready to assist them in ensuring that the entrepreneurs are moving on the right tracks.
Mm-hmm. Now, how can actually PUNB facilitate collaborative platforms for local entrepreneurs to engage with ASEAN members or businesses, investment communities?
Well, that is something that we have never had, collaboration as yet, as far as I can recall, with ASEAN member agency with the ASEAN countries. It's something that really something that we are
looking into in the future. I think that based on what you've already mentioned, Tan Sri, there are things that have to be evolved in the near future.
Yeah.
So do you think we need to change as well how we approach certain issues nowadays compared to before? Like just what you said earlier on during the beginning of the show, the amount of income that has been given, or the income that you've managed to incur, was quite a big lump sum. So do you think to have a different kind of approach actually helps out in research and marketing?
Well, that is something that I didn't get your...
Quite simple. It's just how is there any new way of doing research to help the entrepreneurs?
Well, we have all this for the past 3 years. When we are dealing with assisting the entrepreneurs, we have our fair share of observing how some entrepreneurs manage to grow as to their according to their plans. There are also instances, quite a number of instances where we can see entrepreneurs or business people sectors fails in terms of growing their business. And there are a number of factors, and we have been compiling all these factors. And these are the things that we are always share with our entrepreneurs, either they are the existing one or the one that is the new applicants to PUNB. This is very crucial, Otto, so that they are aware what are the most common factors that might jeopardize their business success in terms of running their businesses, and we don't want our the so-called investment when we are financing some business sectors. Just go wasted.
Yeah.
So that is something that we always very careful in disposing our functions as financial institutions.
Which moves on to my next question. How will PUNB actually promote local products overseas over there when it comes to ASEAN's chairmanship?
Okay. Definitely, we will be more aggressive in terms of bringing our entrepreneurs to visit all the, to identify potential markets in ASEAN. Indonesia, Thailand, or Philippines for that matter, and that where we feel our products can sell well in that particular regions. We are very good. We are very, I would say, we have a remarkable, what I call it, track record in halal hub, and there is some area that we might want to exploit and explore further. And we are very, what I call it, well known in terms of our what I call it, Sharia compliance in financial, what I call it, institutions. This is something that we can always, what I call it, exploit and what I call it, explore further. So rather than maybe in the moving on in the year forward, perhaps we will organize a business trip for the entrepreneurs.
Wow.
To the, what I call it, visiting the member states of the ASEAN, what I call it, countries.
Oh, that's great. Now, moving on to my next question, which is correlated to this. Moving beyond 2025, how does PNB actually plan to continue supporting local entrepreneurs, leveraging on the connections that we've already built and opportunities that has been established?
Well, we have a lot of products. We have a variety of products, very good products by the entrepreneurs. And most of our entrepreneurs, mostly they are operating within our countries. So now, having to, what they call it, to take the opportunity, as I said earlier on, we will definitely, what they call it, promote our entrepreneurs. I mean, to have their products, to be introduced to our big markets in the ASEAN region. We have 660 million people within the ASEAN countries. So it's a big, very big market. And PNB will definitely actively going to encourage our entrepreneurs in making their products reach out to as many populace as possible.
Now, that's very encouraging, Tan Sri. Now, looking at the matrix per se, all right, matrix, how will it be used to assess actually the impact of ASEAN Chairmanship on local entrepreneurship, and how will these actually insights be shared in the business community?
I believe this is a topic of policy. Policy. As we are well aware that within the Asian Economic Community, we have about 7 initiatives. The Asian Free Trade Agreement, we had this ASEAN Trade in Good, what I call it, agreements, and also these, what I call it, various other, what I call it, initiatives. And I must say that this will be the best, what I call it, opportunity for Malaysia to explore further and to, what I call it, take the advantage by being the chairman to push some of the areas that might be lacking or that needs to be improved further. So PNB, as always, being a financial institution, we will always be ready for any changes in government policy with regards to the, what I call it, promoting or encouraging our Bumiputra entrepreneurs to penetrate markets beyond Malaysia.
And one of the things that you mentioned earlier on as well, when it comes to public financing entrepreneurs, tell us an example of what is Jumper program for public financing?
This is a very, I would say, a very good program by PNB so far. Now, this program was first introduced in 2009, but over the years, in 2022, it was rebranded, was revisited and revamped. And this program actually is focused to all graduates or those, having what I call it, certain skill, what I call it, qualification, like Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia.
TVET, yeah.
TVET. What we do, we will attach these particular graduates to all the, what I call it, PNB entrepreneurs, what I call it, partners. Those already,
registered under
PNB. Those who are already PNB's, what I call it, entrepreneurs partnership. And what we do, we will attach them, these graduates, with, according to their, what I call it,
expertise, their professionalism.
Their preference.
I see.
Some people, they prefer to be in the F&B business. Some people, they are inclined to automotive industry sectors. Some people, they are more inclined to engineering services or retail or whatever it is. So we attach these graduates to this selected business entity, and they will become the mentor.
I see.
And this graduate will become the mentee. And to further incentivize this program, each graduate or the mentee will be given an allowance of 1,200 ringgit.
Wow.
And the mentor will be given an allowance of 1,000 ringgit for their participation and as for their effort in training and guiding these new graduates. So they will be placed there, attached there for 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months with this particular business entity.
And these business entities, how many are we looking at?
There are many.
All the industries.
All the industries
under
across
PNB.
the board. Across the board. We are talking about retail, we are talking about engineering and services, we are talking about automotive, we are talking about F&B, we are talking about fashion retailing, and
electronics and technologies.
Except, as I mentioned earlier, agriculture and construction.
I see. Okay.
Minus these two sectors. We are focusing on. So there are so many sectors that we can get these people involved. So over 6 to 8 months, once they are over with this program, then we will get some kind of reports from this mentor.
I see.
With regards to this,
mentee from the
for these graduates.
Yes.
Whether they are inclined to work with them or works elsewhere, or they are inclined to become an entrepreneur themselves.
I see.
This will be the report given by the mentor. So from this report, we will be, the graduates will be requesting, they said they wanted to, let's say, open up a small business.
I see.
Based on what they have learned, what they have, received from their 6 to 8 months, mentorships. Then we will provide them with 50,000 ringgit grant.
The finance.
Grant. 50,000 ringgit and 20,000 ringgit financing assistance.
Wow.
Which they have to pay at 3.5% flat rates.
I see.
It's a very, friendly kind of package for the young graduates.
So all this information can be obtained through...
They can be easily accessible at our PNB website. And also they are always welcome to visit our branches
across the country.
Across the country. We have in every state except for Negeri Sembilan.
Okay.
We have our branches there. And our officers, they are most happy to welcome any inquiries for anyone to do.
Thank you very much, Tan. All right, that's all the time that we have for now. Or on the table this evening, we'll be talking to the chairman of Perbadan Usahawan Nasional Berhad, PNB, Tan Sri Sani Abdul Sani. And a repeat of this episode's broadcast can be viewed again at the same time tomorrow and subsequent days on both RTM Click and MyTV's Berita RTM channel, which is also live streaming on YouTube. Till next Thursday, we'll be discussing another topic of interest. I'm Otto Othman, signing off. Have a pleasant evening.